welcome to my channel. My name is Janae, and thank you for tuning in to my channel. If you are here today, we are going to be making the heart-inspired scarf hoodie. And to get started, you will need at least three different skeins of yarn. The first one, you will need the border. You will need some fuzzy yarn of some sort. You can use any fuzzy yarn you would like, but if you would like to stick with what I am using Yarn B for the moment. The color is soft pink. You can get this yarn from your local Hobby Lobby if you would like to use the same yarn that I'm using. You will next also need a contrasting color. I believe this is I Love This Yarn brand by Hobby Lobby as well, but this is just a random color that I picked from my stash to go with the main color that I will be using for the scarf hoodie is a multicolor yarn that I'm using by I Love This Yarn, and it is called Bloom Teak, also from Hobby Lobby. I decided to use this pink because I felt like it went with the speckles in the multicolor yarn. So you'll need at least 2 skeins for the main body of the scarf hoodie, and you'll need probably just a little bit of whatever color you decide to use. I'm going to use this for the heart, so you're not going to use as much. You're probably going to use probably not even a whole ounce of the contrasting color, but you will need 2 skeins of this. You will also need I'm using a 5.25 millimeter hook. You will need scissors and a darting needle. Okay, so those are the materials you'll need, and let's get started. So I already have the first panel for the hoodie completed, and this is how it's going to turn out if you decide to use the exact same colors that I use. I have 1, 2, 3 rounds of the heart. Technically, I'm shaping the heart, and then you're going to do a total of 10 rounds for the square. And this is how it's going to look. So starting with the color that you would like the heart, I'm using the pink. Let's start with that color. Put this to the side. So starting with that pink, I am going to do a magic ring. And this is how I do my magic ring. I just place it across my hand. I grab it with my thumb, and I take my top 2 fingers, and I wrap and bring it around to the top and across. And I grab it with my ring finger. Taking my hook, I'm going to place it under and grab that back loop and bring it up and twist. So we're going to be doing double crochet to start the granny square. So we're going to chain 3, and that is considered your first double crochet. So we need 2 more double crochets to complete our cluster. So one double crochet. Excuse me, guys. Of course, it's like every time when you start recording, it's like my yarn gets camera shy and start acting crazy. Okay, so that is my first cluster that I have here. We are forming the square, so let's chain 2 and do another 3 double crochet. Chain 2, another 3. Okay, so this circle is getting out of hand, so I'm going to just go in and just tighten it really quick. But you're going to do 4 of these clusters in the magic circle. I have 1 more. I do chain 2. I didn't do a chain 2, excuse me. Okay. Chain 2. Okay, and there we have, I'm going to pull this tight. We have our first square. Our square here. Alright, we're going to slip stitch into this first double crochet space. I'm going to slip stitch here. Pull through. Tight. And slip stitch over 2 more times into this next chain space. I have to pull them apart sometimes. They can be a little tight. Go and into this chain space and slip stitch. Okay, so we're back in the corner. We're going to chain 2. I'm sorry, chain 3, and 2 more double crochets in this corner space. Chain. Okay, chain 2. 3 more double crochets into this corner space. Okay, we're going to go right directly into the next space and do 3 double crochets. Chain 2. I'm going to tie a knot for my magic circle because it's coming apart before keep going. Okay, I got my knot tied. We're still in the corner space. We're gonna do 3 more double crochets. And into the next corner space, another 6 double crochets. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochet. Do that. Chain 2. Another 3 double crochet. Okay, and the last corner space, same thing. Okay, and this is our last double crochet. Okay, okay, now we're moving on to the next round. This third round is where we're going to form the shape of the heart. So let's slip stitch into the next 3 spaces. Slip stitch 1, slip stitch 2, and slip stitch 3. Alright, chain 3, and 2 more double crochets. So for the heart, how I remember the pattern for it is we're going to always do the first corner. So finish off this corner, we do our first double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more in this corner. And that's the first corner of the heart. And we're going to do this space. Do your 3 double crochets in this space. And do not complete the last double crochet. So the second double crochet, and I'll show you what I mean. And we're going to do a color change. So this last double crochet, we're going to do yarn over, pull through 2, and then leave it there. We're going to do a color change. So let me bring out my main color for the scarf hoodie, whatever color you decide to go with. I like to slip stitch my colors on. So I'm going to do okay, so we're going to join our color. I throw my slip stitch on my hook. I make sure that it's tightened. And then I grab the back yarn. You can see this. I grab this yarn to tighten up the loops. And I hold on to it like so. I'm holding on to it with my left finger and my pinky. I'm holding it and I'm just pulling it through. And once I pull that through, I drop. I kind of still hold on to the pink. And we're going to work on next double crochet while I'm still holding on to my pink. I'm holding on to it with my finger. Okay, so I'm going to throw that between this is my ring finger and my middle finger, and I'm just holding it, and I'm going to continue. I'm trying to keep it tight, so I'm going to do a double crochet in the next space, the corner space. Just to get myself set up. And a little tight. I pulled it a little too tight. You can do it. Oh, there we go. Alright, so if you need to go and you can fix it. I'm going to fix mine because it looked a little wonky. But always make sure to tie these ends. You can cut this pink off if you want to. Sometimes I carry the color, but for the heart, to keep it not so tight, I make sure to cut it. So I'm going to tie a little knot here first. And then I'm going to cut this pink. You want to leave just enough tail so you can tie it. Alright, so here we go. You got your first double crochet with your new color. Alright, we're going to do 2 more double crochet. Chain 2. And 3 more in this corner space. And do not complete the last double crochet because we're going to do another color change. So that last one, do not finish it. Leave your 2 loops on there. We're going back to pink. Back to pink. I'm slip stitching pink. Put it back on the hoop. I'm not going to tighten it too much right now. And we're going to pull it through. Go. Alright, we're going to drop that multicolor and pick up the pink. We're going to do 3 double crochet in this next space. Alright, do not finish that last double crochet. We're going back to the multicolor. I'm going to carry this color. I'm not going to cut it because it's so close. Tighten that pink. And then I'm going to work my next double crochet in this corner space. 3 double crochet, chain 2, and another 3. 2 more. Do not complete that last double crochet because we are doing our color change. Again, I am going to cut the pink. Again, I'm going to leave enough tail so I can tie. And then we're going to slip stitch it again so that I can add it. Alright, holding the main color. I'm going to put that color back on, tighten it just a little, and pull it through. Alright, double crochet in that next space. Three. Alright, and then we're going to do this corner as well in that pink. So let's do 3 double crochet. Chain 2. Okay. Do not complete that last double crochet because we are changing colors for the last time. As you can see, you can kind of see that heart, and we just need to add this space right here to differentiate that the humps of the heart. And we're going to, I'm going to cut off this main color, leaving a tail to tie a knot, and let's slip stitch. Or however you add your colors. Some people just drop the yarn over the hook. That's cool. I have a fear of my yarn falling apart when I put it in the washing machine because I do wash my pieces. So I'm sure we all do, but you know, I don't know. I never tried to not do it, so we're doing I'm gonna always tie that. So we're doing our 3 double crochets in this last space. Alright, and finish off that, and there you have your heart. Now we can start the actual square for the scarf hoodie. So we're gonna cut off this pink because we are done with it. Leave enough tail to tie a knot, secure it. And I'm gonna move this pink yarn out the way, and now we can work on the square. So we have a heart here, and now we're going to just do a granny heart. We're gonna slip stitch over 2 times. Slip stitch into that first double crochet, slip stitch into the second or third, and then into that chain 2 space. Alright, starting with the square. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to be doing 10 rounds. So I'm going to do this first round with you just so we can see how it looks. You're going to do the same pattern over and over again. So whenever you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch over to the corner, and then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 more double crochets. Chain 2. 3 more double crochet. And that's how we start our square. We're going to keep going, so we have these next 2 spaces. I'm going to do 3 crochet. I've done something. Okay, another 3. Okay, and our corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. You do this until you get all the way around and start that pattern again. So I'll meet you back around. Okay, so we have made it to the other end of squares. Alright, so we are going to repeat this pattern. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, or you can count it diagonally. I start right here and go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 rows. You're going to want to do this 6 more times to make a total of 10 rounds. And then that completes the first panel. And then you're going to want to make 2 of these. So I already have 1 here. This is my second one. So just finish that up, and we will meet back here when we have our 10 rows. And I will show you how to connect the hoodie, to make the hoodie, and make the scarf. And we'll be back. Okay, I am done with my 10 rounds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rounds. You're gonna fasten off in chain 1. Okay, so I have my 2 panels here. I am going to line them up, and then I'm just going to take the left one and flip it over like a pancake on top of the other one. This makes the front facing piece panels face one another. So we're stitching it together inside out, pretty much. I like to start in the right top corner, top right corner, and go this way because it's the same motion that I crochet. So I like to take a contrasting color to stitch my pieces together because I like how the stitches pop through. It's like a little pop of color. So that is why I am doing it with the pink. If you want to do it with your multicolor, or that you made the video with, you can do that. But I just have a preference. Like, let me show you an example. So here's an example. The multicolored one that I did with the multicolored neon color yarn, you can see that the pink is contrasting with the black. So I like the stitches. I like it. It looks cool to me. And it's very noticeable. So I like it. It's like just black and white. It's just 2 contrasting colors. And then this one I did with the same multicolor yarn, like keeping it together, but it's not as noticeable. So you'll see what I'm talking about. But this yarn, it don't have that big pop of color. It's just my thought process. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna do a pink, so let's do the pink. So here we are. I've been saying slip stitch a lot. It's slip knot, guys. Slip knot. Oh goodness. It's a slip knot. If you don't know what I'm doing, go ahead and show you. This is how I do my slip knots. I just grab it like so. I have it looped around a finger and I just twist. I twist it with these 2 fingers and grab this piece right there and slip knot. That's how I do a slip knot. So yeah, back to the video. I'm going to, should I zoom in for this? We're going to, so I have my slip knot. I'm going to zoom in for this part. I'm just trying to line the corners together. So corner to corner, corner to corner. And I'm going to put my needle through that corner and grab my slip knot, the slip knot. And we're going to put the yarn back on there. Not too tight. And let's chain. We're gonna chain 1 into that. So, I know you guys are probably like, yada, 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 yada. I know how to, we're gonna do chain 1 stitching across this part and then down this bottom. You're right. I do mine a little different. I, decrease in this region. I do, 3 double crochet together. I'll show you when we get there. I'm just explaining because I don't like my hats being pointy. I don't like the Martian look. So I try to take this big chunk and like form it in a sense. So I'll show you. We got our chain 1. I am going to do a single crochet in this space and find that first stitch and that back stitch to the other panel is going to single crochet. We're gonna do that all the way until the single crochet all the way until you get to 2, 3, 4, the 6th cluster. So stop right there. I'm gonna input stitch marker. Okay, I couldn't find no stitch marker, so I just grabbed a piece of scrap yarn that I had later on somewhere. So we're gonna go from the top and just count over 6 clusters. So this is cluster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is where we're gonna put the stitch marker. Make sure that top stitch to the last stitch of the 6th cluster lines up with the exact one behind it, of course. So this is my last double crochet in the cluster in the top one, and then this should be This is the last one as well, so light them up. This is the stitch marker there. And okay, we have our, I'm trying to get used to this phone mount that I have. I have the new chest mount, hands-free chest mount, and it's so weird. It's like I can't see through the phone, so I have to use the phone to see what I'm doing. So it just feels weird. Like this is like not the first visual of what I'm actually doing. So I'm just trying to make sure that the angle is lined up with what I'm seeing, well, what I'm kind of seeing, but what you guys seeing. Like, it's great that you get to have this angle. I appreciate it. Especially when I'm watching other people's videos, I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, girl, you hands-free. But I always wonder how they got these angles, and I see why it's really, like, first-hand experience. I really feel like if I was watching this video, I would really feel like I'm doing this. Like, what they call it, virtual experience. Seriously. Coming to the end of the 6 clusters. Okay, I got 3 more. Y'all excuse me if I sounds nasally. I've been sick. Me and the whole family, we just been sick. I still got all this mucus. Okay, we got this last one. Go ahead and do the last one. Take the stitch marker out. Should be both of them. Yeah, both of them. And there. That's what they are. So these next 4, we're going to do 3 decreases together for the next 4 clusters. So here's what I mean. 3. So let's go into this pattern. We're gonna go in like normal, doing a single crochet, but we're not gonna finish it. We're gonna go right into the next one and the back one. Okay, got 3 hoops on your hook, and then again, we're gonna go into that last one. 3 single double crochet decrease. I hope that's what you call it. But you're doing, yeah. And then I went over and pulled through all 3. Well, how many? You have 4 hoops. That's 1. Then you're gonna go into the next one. We're gonna do this all the way around. So let's do it again. Into the front, into the back. Bring up 2. Loop. Got 2 on the hoop. On the hook. Turn it over. What am I doing? Oh, you're wrong. Okay. To the next stitch. To the back stitch. Pull up hoop. And the last one. We should have 4 hoops on the hook. Run over. Go through all 4. Okay. Do that again. Oh, no, you're wrong. To the front. To the top. The bottom. Pull up hoop. Okay. To the next stitch. To the back stitch. Pull up hoop. 3. Into stitch. Back stitch. Got 4. Go through all 4. Okay. Going. Have 3 decreases so far. Okay. This is the last cluster before we end this round. Like this way. I'll go to the top. Pull up hoop. Top. Back. And pull through 3. Okay, this is the last one. Just go into the chain 2 space in the top and the back, and then I'm just pulling up. Do a single crochet. So I'm gonna turn it, and then we're going to jump right into that top stitch, the top panel, and do it again for the next 4. Just like we did on this side, we're gonna do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get to this 4th cluster, the last double crochet, and that's when you start the singles again. I'll meet you back at this 4th cluster, and we'll finish, and that'll finish the hoodie part. Okay. This is the last one. Like I said, it's gonna bunch up, but that's okay. That's how we want it. Alright, we are done with the decrease. pieces. Then we can just do one single crochet, stitch together for your 2 panels to make your hat. And I will meet you back at the corner. When you get to this corner, you're going to just single crochet and pass it off. Okay, I have made it to the corner, done my single crochet, and I'm going to do my chain 1 and pass it off. And now we can take this hoodie, we flip it to the right side. It should give you perfect entrance on your face, and your heart should be reflective. So here we go. The hoodie face go here, and it's not as pointy at the top. Here we go. Alright, we are going to grab the multicolored cord, and we're going to start with the scarf. Before we start with the scarf, I like to count the bottom row, stitches of the bottom row, to make sure that I have an even number. The reason you want an even number of stitches is for the sake of setting up your granny square clusters. I'll show you why when we get to that point. But let's go in and count our stitches going all the way across. So from the front panel stitches to the back panel stitches, or if you want to say left and right, you can do that too. But we want an even number of stitches across these 2 stitches. So I just want to come over here and say something real quick. Keep in mind when you're counting the stitches, we're not counting the corners. So this is a corner and this is a corner. We are going to add stitches to these corners, but I want the stitch count for this actual stitches. So I got 30 on the top panel and 30 with the back panel. So that's 60 stitches. So I'm going to add a stitch in each corner when I make the scarf. So we're going to count this with 32 plus 32. It's going to be 64 stitches. So let's get started on our scarf. We can actually move our hoodie out of the way for right now, and we are going to start with a slip knot to start our scarf. And how I do it, I do one side first of the scarf, and then I attach it to the hood, and then I do the other side. So we're going to chain 100. So chain 100. Okay, so I have my 100 chains here. So this is going to be the length of your scarf, not the width, but the length. So if you want to make it a little longer, you can add on stitches. But again, just be mindful. If you're adding on stitches, make sure that number is an even number of stitches. So if you want to add a little bit more length, let's say you want to add 4 more instead of 5 more, add 4 more. And then, or if you want to do 10 more, you can do 10 more. But make sure that number is an even amount for the sake of the granny clusters. So now that I have my 100, I'm going to come over here to my hoodie, and I'm going to attach it onto, I do this upside down. You're going to be working upside down because, of course, this is the right way that you're going to be working, with your, while you're crocheting. So this is going to be my front right side, and I just flipped it upside down. So I'm going to insert my hook into this corner right here, and we're going to make that single crochet that I was telling you about that we were going to add. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a loop, and I have my 2 loops, and make my first single crochet right there. And now I'm going to go into that first stitch and then do single crochets across. So that's my first one. I'm going to go ahead and do single crochets all the way across. So we made it to the next corner. We're going to add a single crochet into that space, and then we're going to go over to the next corner. We're not crocheting in the stitch, the hem, we're not crocheting into the hem of the hoodie. We're going to just go directly into the next chain 2 space and do a single crochet. And we can continue on. Don't forget that first stitch. That is important as well, because every stitch is accounted for, so we want to make sure that we do every stitch that's accounted for. So the setup for the scarf is a little tedious, but once you get it set up properly and right, you can get rocking and rolling pretty quick and easy with making the scarf. But the setup process is a little tedious, and that's okay because it's setting us up for success. I promise you. Just stick with me. Just don't skip any. Make sure we get every stitch. So, I'm sorry if I'm breathing heavy, guys. I'm still getting over my flu, and I'm just so full of mucus. It's so gross. I can't stand it. Like, I inhale and I taste the mucus. It's gross. So we made it to this corner space, and again, we're just gonna put our single crochet in there, and there, we have it. So now we've made it to the other side of the hoodie, and now we're gonna do the same exact thing that we did for the other side. We're gonna chain 100. So let's chain 100. I have, excuse me, I have my 100. And once again, this is the length of your scarf. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back and double check my stitches because, like I said, the count matters. So I'm gonna go back and count my stitches. If you want to go ahead and just say, hey, I trust myself, and then you can do that. But I'm gonna go back and recount all of my stitches to make sure that everything's lined up. I should have 264 stitches, so that's what I'm gonna go back and make sure I have. So if you want to go back and count. This is how I count my stitches. I count the 2 top bumps at the top, and like that. So yeah, I'm gonna count my stitches. Okay, so I counted my stitches, and I have a total of 264. If you have an odd number of stitches, just add one more stitch to your chain on the end, or however many stitches you have missing from your even count. It should be an even count. So if you have like 263, just add a stitch to the chain. Or if you want to go back, you can go back and find out where the mistake is and proceed with the video. But you want to have an even count number of stitches. If you have 262, then you're good. If you have 243, 44, then you should be good. So I have my 264, and on the side I have 100. So I'm going to chain 3 more. This is going to count as my first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to double crochet into that 4th stitch from the chain. Okay, and that counts as our first 2 double crochets. So now we're going to go in and form the granny square stitches. So to do that, we have our first stitch. We're going to skip a stitch and go into that next stitch. Yarn over. So skip a stitch, and go into the next one. And do 3 double crochet into that stitch. Okay. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to do skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2. And into that 3rd stitch, do 3 more double crochets. So these loops can get a little tight when you're doing the 3 double crochets into that one stitch. It can alter the tension of the other stitches. So I pull them apart to make sure that I counted them properly. So we're skipping 2, 2, and into that 3rd one, 3 more double crochets. And we're gonna do this all the way across till we get to the hoodie. We're gonna do the same pattern on the other side, and we're gonna go all the way down this chain. So do that all the way across. I got 2 double crochet. Where you're gonna do skip 2 and 3 double crochet. So again, let me show you. Yarn over, skip 2, 2, and into that 3rd chain, do 3 double crochet. 2, 3. Okay. So let's do this all the way across. So when you get to the other end, you're gonna stop. You should have 3 chains left. Stop right before you finish, and I'll show you how to finish off the other end of the hoodie. Okay, so I'll meet you back. I'll show you one more time. We're skipping 2 and doing 3 double crochets into the 3rd link. So skip 2 and into the 3rd, we do 3 double crochet. Like I said, if that number is even, you should have 3 left on your chain. So I'll see you at the end. Alright, so I've made it to the other end of the scarf, and I have my 3 chains left. So 1, 2, 3. So we are going to finish off this gritty square cluster. If you have 3, we're gonna yarn over, skip those last 2, and we're gonna do 2 double crochets in this last stitch. So 2 double crochets. Now, do not panic if you do not have 3 at the end. Let's say you have 2. Then do the same thing. Just skip 1 and do 2 double crochets in the end. If you have 4, skip 3 and do still 2 double crochets in the end. This pattern is very forgiving, but I'm always going to try to make room for, correction, because sometimes stuff don't line up. So don't panic, and if you want to go back and try to fix it, you can, but you can also just do those modifications. Like I said, if you have 4, skip those 3 and then go into the last one, do 2 double crochet. But you want to end this round with 2 double crochets in that last stitch. So from here, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And we're going to go work the other way. Okay, so now we can go the other way. So we ended with our chain with our 2 double crochet in the last stitch. So for this next round, after you've ended the row with 2 double crochet and you have this space, we're gonna start this round with doing 2 double crochets in this first space. So we're gonna do 2 double crochets, and that is how we start the round. So that's how we have it. This is gonna keep this in straight as we're working on the granny square cluster. So now we can proceed as usual and do our granny square clusters. So we're going to do 3 double crochets in this next space and 3 double crochets in each space, so on. So let's do this row, and I will show you how to end this row. It's going to be alternating between ending the row with 2 double crochets and then starting it with 2 double crochets in the space. So I will meet you on the other end to show you how this round is going to end.
Hi guys, so this part of the video is where my audio went out while I was recording, so I'm going to be doing a voiceover for this portion of the audio. So right here, as you can see, I have my last cluster space. So what we are going to do here, if you recall, we ended with 2 double crochets in that first cluster space, so we're going to do 2 double crochets in that cluster space, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the last space of this round, and that is how we're going to end that round. So we're going to go ahead and go chain 3, turn your work, and we can work back up the other way for our scarf hoodie. So since we ended with the cluster space of 3, we are going to start with 2 double crochets in that same space. So do a double crochet in that first stitch, and then we can go ahead and move over to that first cluster space and do our first 3 double crochets in that space, and we can continue on doing our granny square clusters. And as you can see how the line of the end of the scarf is straight, and that keeps the edging straight. So let's continue on with our granny square clusters, and I'll show you how to end this round. Okay guys, so we made it to the other end of this round, and if you can keep record of the pattern, we started with 2 double crochets on one end, ended with 2 double crochets, and then we started the next round with a double crochet and 2 double crochets in that space. So now we're coming up on the 2 double crochets in the last space, but what I'm doing here, I'm gonna do a double crochet in that last stitch of the last double crochet of that cluster right there. And then I'm also going to do a double crochet within that space where I stuck my finger through. I'm going to do a double crochet in that space. So double crochet in that last stitch and then a double crochet in that last space. Those are your last two double crochets. So like I said, if you can keep track of the pattern, you're going to do double crochet, 2 double crochet in the last stitch, and then start the round. So now we're going to start the round with our double crochet and then 2 double crochet in the space above it. So keep this pattern throughout for the width of the scarf, and I did a total of 6 rounds. So we did 3 rounds together. We're going to do 3 more, and then we're going to be done with that portion of the width of the scarf hoodie. If you would like to make your scarf wider, you surely can. You can go on and add extra rows, but I like the width of 6 rows for my scarf, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to continue on working on the scarf hoodie. This is just me here explaining to you guys the pattern, starting with 2 double crochets, moving on to the double crochet, then 2 double crochets in the space, and then starting with 2 double crochets. So just keep that pattern and your scarf will be straight along the ends. You can see how straight the lines are along the scarf.
Okay, my lovelies. Hopefully you're done doing your rows of your scarf. I did 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to do more, you're more than welcome to do more rows, but I am going to stick with 6. So now that I have my rows complete, I am going to start on doing the trim. We are almost there, you guys. This is the last part, doing the trim part of the scarf hoodie. But so far, this is how it looks with the heart and the scarf. It looks beautiful, but if you want to stop here, you can. That's up to you. You can leave it without the trim, but I am going to do the trim. So I am going to start on the end where I finished off my scarf hoodie, and you're just going to...
This part of the video, my audio went out again, but this is just me explaining how I started on the end and I followed the trim all around the scarf hoodie. You're gonna just want to follow the trim all the way around, and in the corners you're gonna want to do 2 single crochets. I did a single crochet all the way around with the fuzzy yarn, and I made sure to do 2 single crochets in each corner space. So I'm just gonna start with a slip knot with my fuzzy yarn, and I'm gonna go in with the same crochet hook I use for the entirety of the scarf hoodie. And I'm just making sure that I lay it out and start at the corner. You can start at any corner or you can start at any space, but I chose to start at the end of the corner. And I'm just going to go in and pull that fuzzy yarn through that first corner space there. And I'm gonna do a chain 1. And I believe, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and just go in straight in and start your single crochet in each space. If the gap is pretty large, I'm gonna do 2 single crochets. Like that space right there is pretty gappy, so I think I did 2 single crochets, but it's up to your discretion. Like I said, this pattern is very forgiving. If you want to go in and make it super like fuzzy, you can do 2 single crochets in each space, but I'm just gonna go in and do a single crochet in each space and 2 single crochets in each corner space. So do that all the way around and you are going to be done with your scarf hoodie. is the last space, and then I'm going to try to find where I did the first single
crochet. I'm just feeling around with my fingers trying to find it, and I'm just going to go back into that space and do a slip stitch and chain one, and that completes our scarf hoodie. You can cut it, and then we're going to have to weave in all the ends. So let's weave in. We're going to weave in all the fur ends, all the yarn in, the acrylic yarn ends. Yeah, so I have a lot of ends to weave in. So but that's it. That's your scarf hoodie. Once you're finished weaving everything in, you are done, and it is ready to wear. Scarf hoodie complete. It is so light and pretty. I love how the colors all tie together. This is probably my favorite one, but I'm probably going to give it to a friend because I want to. But I am really happy with how this came out. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you made some. I am on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I recently just joined Lemonade, if that's what you call it. And I'm on Pinterest. So please tag me if you made this. I would love the support. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye, guys.